On this week's show,
I talk about Mario Odyssey. It's awesome.
I talk about a wicked new Razer phone.
It's for you.
And Gareth talks about 21st Century Fox and the Disney merger.
Oh, that's good, because I thought we had a problem for a minute there, huh? All right, now get out there and make me some goddamn money!
And to finish off, we have another exciting episode of Who's Putting Their Winkie Where They Shouldn't? Stay tuned.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers and geeks alike. It's this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast. And...
He forgot something. He forgot something, didn't he?
No, I didn't.
And we're going to make him do it.
You just interrupted me. And the man who describes himself as an attack chopper is Keith.
No, but
Hello,
Keith. You're meant to greet the people. You're meant to say, those who identify themselves to show that you thought of something. I think you need to go again. Mm-hmm.
No.
Nice.
Anyway.
It's a democracy here, isn't it?
Not fucking dictatorship. I need data.
Nice.
And
Back me
it's
up
not
here.
democracy. I've taken over. And I'm now the dictator. And I get to describe what happens.
Yeah.
So,
the
Keith,
Sacha
your
Baron
chopper.
Cohen version. The Sacha Baron Cohen version, anyway.
Anyway, Keith with your chopper. Say hello.
Hello.
And Nigel with his attack submarine. Say hello.
Hello.
Stingray.
Hello, and welcome to this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast. So we've got a rundown this week. We're going to be talking about Mario, Respawn Entertainment, the new Razer phone, Marvel, Disney, Netflix, and all that goodness. I've got a little moan about an independent article I read about poppies, and then I want to talk about Andrew Kreisberg and George Takei and Louis C.K. putting their winkies where they shouldn't. So, Keith, tell us about Mario Odyssey.
Okay, so I'm going first this week.
I can change it if you want.
No, I'm not complaining. Right, yes. So I got Mario Odyssey this week, and I like it. It's just a good game. It was worth the hype. It's not as big as Zelda, but the level design is quite cool. The city level, which you've seen across the videos, it actually isn't the first level. It's quite a way into the game before you get to the city. But yeah, I'm loving it. It's a bit like all Mario games. It's a bit sort of fiddly at times. And you watch like somebody doing something on a YouTube video and you're like, how the fuck are they doing that? But apart from that, I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's I've been playing it for probably done about 9 or 10 hours already, and I only got it on Friday. So it's a pretty impressive game. It's quite good on the Switch. A couple of criticisms of it are that it keeps, for a handheld console, which, let's face it, the Switch is predominantly handheld. I mean, you can plug it into a dock and plug it into the TV, but, out the box, it's a handheld console. It keeps telling you to do certain moves with Cappy, which is this hat that possesses different creatures in the Mario world. You have to take the Joy-Cons out of the Switch and actually hold them like the old sort of Switch ones and flick them and do various sort of motions with them to activate certain things. That you can do it off the keys, but the buttons, but it's a fuck's like more fiddly. But the thing I really like is that in certain levels you're being like a 3D world, and then suddenly it will jump into like an 8-bit Mario style thing on the side of a wall, and then it will go upside down and it will rotate around a pyramid, but it's sort of like 8-bit Mario, and it's got the old original music and everything. It's quite cool. And then on the city level, there's a bit where you go through all these little 8-bit things, and then there's a little sort of Donkey Kong level at the end, which is quite cool. And then he jumps out goes sort of seamlessly from 8-bit to back into the sort of full 3D world. But depending on what costume he's wearing, it will feed. There's a little 8-bit version of that. So it's pretty neat. It's a good game, and it's as I keep saying, it's another title to justify buying a Switch. So I think there's a few titles there now that will keep you busy for the Switch. So if you were sort of debating about buying a Switch, it's worth it now. This is Splatoon 2 is awesome, really good shooter. Zelda is amazing, fucking hours on that. Mario and Mario Kart are really good games. Those are the 4 I've got. So those are the 4 I'm really. But Elder Scrolls is coming on it soon, isn't it? If it's not already there. And that looks quite good. And Doom's out on it as well.
Doom's out on it, and Doom's the most impressive game on the Switch so far. Everyone's turned around and said Doom's the most impressive game, considering it's running at 720p. Everyone's described it as the most impressive looking game. And it ran at 30 frames a second, so you're not getting the kind of buttery smooth 60 frames a second like you got on the PlayStation or the what you call it, the Xbox.
It's a handheld console. I mean, if you want to sitting on the plane playing Doom with that level of graphics, it's pretty impressive. I mean, I was quite impressed with some of the sort of details in Mario, like when you first enter the city level, there's rainfalls, and you've got all the little individual sort of ripple effects on the water and stuff. And I was just looking at going, this is a handheld machine. That's pretty damn impressive. And there's loads of details in Mario. And I love how you possess different creatures. So the mechanics of the game, and you go to these different worlds, and as you progress through it, there's loads of different challenges, and there's no repetitiveness to it. It's quite good, and it'll annoy the hell out of you because there's loads of moons available. So even when you've built up enough moons to move to the next world, there's hundreds still there. So I'm a bit like you. I have to do every little fucking thing, which is really annoying on Zelda because there's just so much in Zelda. You're missing something, so you become absolutely obsessed with it. So that's why I think I've done nearly 200 hours on Zelda, and I'm halfway through.
See, for me at the moment, I was playing Castlevania, Lords of Shadow, with Patrick Stewart and
awesome.
I can't remember his game. The Irish guy played Bixby. He was in Star Trek Universe. I know
Stargate
the name.
Universe.
He was in Stargate Universe.
Oh, Robert Carlyle.
Yeah, Robert Carlyle. I've been playing that, and the music on that is fucking ridiculous considering what you're doing. It's really fucking epic because my wife's like, "What are you playing? Which has got such epic music." That's exactly how she described it. So I've been playing that, but I have been looking at. I was looking at getting a Nintendo Switch. The problem is they only sell the one with the neon Joy-Cons, which I don't want. I want the plain grey ones.
I have the plain grey ones. I mean, I've got some rubber pits to them because the one criticism of the thing I have is when I was playing Splatoon 2, it's quite intensive and you really get into it because they're only like 3-minute matches, and my thumbs were beginning to get. I mean, I don't know if it's the climate I live in, but they get a bit sweaty and they sort of slip and slide. So I got some rubber grips on mine, and then I got the sort of like little red covers because it gives you this sort of nice little grip bit at the back, so it makes it nicer in your hands because it's kind of designed for Asian hands. So it gives you that bit more thing. So yeah, I mean, you can get it with the grey ones, the standard grey ones. I've seen it for sale. Although the Mario red ones look all right. They're not neon.
Yeah,
they're more like that.
I don't want the neon ones. I just want the thingies. But I've been looking at it, which doesn't mean I'm going to get one. It just means I've been looking at it. But again, as I said before, I've been playing Castlevania, and I've been also playing kind of Conquer Tiberium Wars #3.
On what?
Put that on my bloody Mac.
Really?
It's really
Tiberium
nice,
Wars? That's old school.
Oh, that's not. It's the third game. So I've still got 3D graphics. It's kind of 3D graphics in it. So it's not drawn. It's actually got some decent animation stuff in it. And I've been playing that, which I forgot how much I enjoyed. Because
I love CNC games.
I upgrade my my Windows partition from a Windows 7 to Windows 10. And it works really well. The lots of the shit's been kind of kicked out of Windows 10 for all the horrible bits in it. And an annoying thing is that the Windows Update program, it ended 3 days before I updated it. Though they hadn't advertised it, they kept it quiet. But on the bright side, I bought a professional version of Windows 10 for £6 from fucking Amazon. So I'm not complaining. So yeah, that was pretty cool. So I've been playing games. Nige, you've been playing any games?
Well, I've had probably half an hour extra on South Park in the entire 2 weeks that I've last spoken to you two. So, no. I get no time to myself.
Okay.
That's called being married.
Fair enough.
It's called being married with her parents over and kids.
That is one thing I don't have to worry about. Unfortunate for my wife, but fortunate for me, my in-laws are past, which means I don't have to put up with visits from them. I do, on the other hand, have to put up visits from the rest of the family, which can be fun. But anyway.
Yeah. But talking of that, it's like kind of people have been playing like kind of Call of Duty. Is Call of Duty out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the original Call of Duty was made by what was Respawn Entertainment now, and Respawn Entertainment have been bought by EA. And given the fact that I think it was a couple of weeks ago we were talking about how EA literally destroyed Visceral Games, the creators of Dead Space.
And we also gave a list of all the other games companies they destroyed since buying.
They've destroyed. It looks like Respawn Entertainment may be joining them. Now, apparently, Respawn Entertainment are going to be doing a Titanfall 3, which I'm grateful for because I really enjoyed Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 single-player campaign was pretty good, and the multiplayer I really enjoyed. The downside is that when I play these multiplayer games, I tend to go through the cycle once and then stop because there are other games to be playing.
Yeah. I played that. Played that too, and I enjoyed, like you, the both the campaign and the multiplayer. And multiplayer, I played a fair bit. Unlocked a few things, and the gunplay wasn't too bad. It didn't feel too unfair, and you could hold your own as well. Yeah, from the start. You could even use the starting Titans from the start. And what they were saying is, all DLC was going to be free. But I haven't had it installed long enough on my machine to find out if any further DLC has been released.
Well, I don't know if they released any map packs for the bloody thing, because, as I said, I got to the max level and I stopped playing. Yeah, I maxed out,
It just got a bit too boring, a bit too repetitive after that. Up to that point, fantastic fun. But then I didn't keep going back to it because, like you say, I had other games that I fancied having a go on. And so, also, I changed my PlayStation to a Pro because my old one was starting to not work properly.
Hang on, whoa. So, you've changed your PS4 to a PlayStation Pro?
Yeah.
Yes.
We bought our PlayStations at the same time. Mine works perfectly. Did yours develop the fault with, and I'm putting air quotes here, the fault with the CD drive, or is that the excuse you told your wife when you bought it?
No, it would randomly and at any point, either in a game or not, would spit a disc out. So if you're in the middle of an online game, it just spits a disc out, and then your game shuts, and then you're kicked out of whatever you're playing. And that could be any game, predominantly EA games, it must be said. Predominantly EA games. Yeah. I didn't have it happen very much on games were published by other people, but yeah.
Are you sure
EA
you did?
published
sure you
games.
Didn't give it a little virus, and then you're going to hold to the fact that it developed fault, darling. It's
no,
faulty,
listen to the story of him trading it in.
No, I'm sure I've told Keith. No,
because the story about you trading it in
because it was basically I was trying to. Well, my kids were playing Battlefront, and every 3-4 hours it would just go and spit the disc out. And they were starting to get frustrated. I'm like, maybe you're pushing a button or something, because it had the feather touch, didn't it? The feather touch eject disc and power button, didn't it? Our versions. And so I ended up doing a bit of research, and a little rubber foot that sits directly underneath that power button and the eject button. When it gets hot, it expands a tiny bit, touches the eject button and ejects the disc. Poor design, right? So I removed the rubber disc, the rubber foot,
You
moved
can
it
put
off
rubber
to the
discs
side
into
of
it.
it.
That's a problem, mate.
Yeah. And then I even taped it up to try and stop it. But it got to the point where it was just continued to do it. You could put a disc in, start the game, 2 minutes later, disc spat out, you're back to your desktop, and you can't fucking play anything.
So you went and got a black PS4 Pro? Nice.
Yeah.
You let me down, you bastard.
You're the only white
Couple.
supremacist left in the group now, Keith.
I'm the only white PS4 supremacist, yeah.
Coupled with the fact that the controller, because the kids were constantly playing Battlefront,
Hang on.
the controller forward wasn't working properly, so it wouldn't register if you're pushing forward or not. So I took it in to trade it in just to see if it would luckily work. So I took it to game, and you know how we feel.
I don't
about
have
game.
any moral issues with you doing that.
No. I was thinking about taking it to, if it was working properly, I would have taken it to the independent trader in my local town, because he's pretty decent. However, it wasn't working properly, so I took it to game. And I was sitting there praying that when they booted up the game and played it to see if it was working properly, it worked for the 5 minutes that they'd be checking it out, you know?
So
they put it in, they put a disc in, and they went, right, we're going to put in, what's the fucking game, role-playing game?
Dragon Age.
Dragon Age. Dragon Age
Which is an EA
Inquisition.
game, if I remember correctly.
Which is an EA game. However, up until that point, I had never had a problem with it spitting a disc out. Never. She goes, oh, we got one hit. Oh, she goes, oh, you've got Dragon Age. It was one of the last games I was trying to play. Oh, yeah. She goes, oh, we'll just test that, make sure it works and plays a game and stuff like that. Okay. So I was like, yeah, cool. That works out perfectly for me because I've never had a problem. She puts it in, it fucking spits it out within 2 seconds. I'm sat there going, I've got a fucking brick. Basically, my PlayStation 4 was a brick. So she takes the disc out, she cleans the disc, puts it back in. It lasts a bit longer this time, spits it out.
Okay.
I'm like, really? It's not even lasting 30 seconds in the game. Right? So she's having a little look at it, and I'm going, well, I'm not sure what's going on there. It's never done it on that game. It's never done it. You know? So somebody else comes over and goes, the rubber foot's come off. So he puts the rubber foot back in, a bit of fucking around, but he gets it back in, stuff like that. And then plays it again. I don't know, can't remember what else but it stays on. And the controller as well, I said it had a little bit of problem going forward and back. Well, forward, mostly because you push forward to go forward in fucking shooting games, don't you? And it worked for the 4 minutes that she was playing it. She was going, yeah, right, all the buttons, yeah, right. And she left it there. And I was sitting there looking at it in the corner of my eye going, please don't fucking turn off. Please don't fucking spit it out. And it stayed. And she went, yeah, okay, it looks like we fixed the problem. Yeah, it's fine. Turned it off and I was like, yes. And then I got basically about 100 quid trading value
That's not bad.
for that broken
So
arse piece
now
of
you-
shit.
Now you have a better console than Gareth.
Yeah, to be fair, there's no real difference on it.
Shut up. Nice.
Nah,
Nice.
that isn't.
In fact, yes, there is. There's a lot of difference.
I've-
Or have you got one now? Have you got a PS4 Pro now? Has yours developed the same suspicious disc
no,
issue?
because I invalidated my warranty in order to fix my problem. I opened up the console and I reset everything. And I literally remounted everything inside the console. I blasted it out with air duster. I cleared the fans. I checked every bit of hardware, every bolt and bit that you can check on it. I popped the whole thing back together, and I haven't had an issue with it. Which I will now have an issue with it because I mentioned it since, which was back in February, I think.
But you want a
it was back
PS4
then.
Pro.
Not at the moment. I'm fine at the moment. I'll be honest with you.
If I'm honest, there's no real difference between the two.
I
I've only
don't,
got a
because you haven't got the
1080p.
4K TV. Once you
Yeah,
have
I've only got a
4K
1080p, and my TV is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it, so I'm
You've
not
got
going
that
to
big ass fucker, haven't you, in your living room? It's a huge thing,
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You bastard.
And I've had it since I moved in here. I've had it at least 7 years, and it's still
Yeah, it's
perfect.
a nice TV.
It still works perfectly. It's a Panasonic, but it works perfectly. There's no point in me upgrading to a 4K HDR TV if my current one's perfect. But when it does break, I will be getting that, and then I'll see the benefits of a PS4 Pro. However, I don't see any increase in speed of loading stuff, increase in the way it downloads anything, increase in switching between applications on it. It's just the fucking same.
People are very snobbish about 4K. They really are. And I've noticed that recently, especially videographers. They're all getting, it's like, nobody's got 4K. The majority of the bloody planet hasn't got 4K TVs yet. 4K TVs are not selling like HD TVs used to, because people buy a TV and go, there's nothing wrong with it. People could see the big jump to HD. There was that big jump that justified you spending, $900, $2,000, depending on what TV you bought. But now you've got that, like you've got a TV, you've had it 7 years. There's nothing wrong with your TV. It's gorgeous. Big ass TV, and it plays DVDs and movies. Why do you need a 4K TV? Oh, because that image is a little bit sharper. Unless you're watching things like Planet Earth 2 or Blue Planet 2, which I think is the latest BBC thing. There's no fucking point, really, is it? I mean, But
the thing is, you're right. You're right in that. Although I am missing a USB slot, so I can't use something like Chromecast or anything like that to my TV because it's that old.
You don't you need
Chromecast runs through HDMI.
Yeah.
Can you? Oh, right.
Yeah.
But
They don't make Chromecast now. You've got no excuse.
All you do is you buy a Chromecast or an Apple TV or whatever your choice is, and then you've got apps to run on your TV. You can convert it to a smart TV.
And that's through HDMI. Okay. Sorry, I thought it was USB. No. Okay. But I don't need it. I use my PlayStation 4 to watch Amazon. We've got Amazon movies, Amazon Prime, and then you've got Netflix, which you can watch through YouTube, whatever.
Well, you do it through your PlayStation.
I do it through my PlayStation.
I'll be honest with you, it's like putting bloody like 4K displays on phones. Yeah, it's like when you look at like the Sony phones that they've got, where they've got the 4K display on it. The only reason they did the 4K display on it is to say they got there first.
Yeah.
And thinking about it, having games and stuff to play on phones, is it worth it?
I don't know if people are still doing gaming on phones like they were. So, but
well, you never know. I play a few games on this, but most games on my mobile are, your time filler games, aren't they?
Right, so
most mobile games are
and stuff.
Yeah. My wife plays puzzles and stuff.
You've got to buy a ridiculous gaming phone, haven't you?
I haven't bought one. Actually, I'm going to be paying £1 more a month, no upfront fee, than what I'm paying at the moment for this shit thing.
What network?
With no 3 mobile.
So you don't know what you're paying for the phone and the contract split because O2 tell you. Okay,
so no, I think they do when I first signed up. But this, I'm paying about £43 a month on my Z5, my Sony Z5. I get what do I get? 8 gigabytes of data a month, unlimited text and minutes. With my new deal that I've just signed up, there's no upfront fee to upgrade to the Razer mobile, which I'll go on to in a second. And I also now get 12 gigabyte a month, and it's unlimited.
Nice. I don't sound rude, but think we're not interested in the size of your package. We want to know about the phone.
Another thing I can do on this, included for free on my new package, I can stream Netflix using data for free, unlimited.
What?
No matter.
So what you're saying is the Netflix stream isn't included in your data allowance. It's just free.
It is free.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
That's
fucking
too
cool.
That's too dangerous for someone like me.
That is decent, isn't it?
That's
not bad. That's pretty cool.
It's not just Netflix. There's a few other. You can watch the catch up TV like Dave or History Channel or something else. But all that's free on this package. Anyway, beating around the bush, I have bought the Razer phone. Well, not bought it. £1 more a month than what I'm paying.
Yes,
for
just tell us about the
considerably
phone.
more.
So that's 24 quid over 2 years. I'm assuming you're on a 2-year contract.
2-year contract.
So
£41,
roughly
£44.
900 quid if you were to buy it outright.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah, including all your data and stuff. Anyway, so the phone itself, I did. If you are listening to this and you're not liked to our Monkey Nut Punch page, there is a link in there that I put on there for you to click and have a look at the Razer phone. So itself is built by Razer, purely by Razer. They did buy a company out at the start of the year. It was a start-up company who was making a mobile phone, and they've taken it and they've ran with it and they've made it better. So, first things first, I think I'm going to really enjoy watching things like Netflix or Amazon programs or anything on this, because the screen is 120 hertz refresh rate, and it's got Dolby Atmos and THS audio
On a phone.
On a phone,
right?
All the reviews I've read have said it is the best sound ever on a mobile phone that they've ever come across. And I've been doing a lot of watching programs on my mobile phone while my son's playing football. You know, just watching some series like the Badlands. I've been watching the Badlands on Amazon. It's a bit tinny on my phone, but I'm looking forward to not having a tinny sound come out. It's got 8 gig of RAM, which is a lot. Its processor is a Qualcomm Snapdragon.
Yeah.
So it also has a 12 megabyte, or sort of 12 megapixel camera on the rear, dual cameras. But what it does is it's got one that focuses up to a certain point, and then a little bit of software that blends the two together, and then the other lens goes a bit further. So it's sort of smooth interaction between the two, apparently. Although I have read reports that the camera does let it down.
It uses similar tech to the iPhone, but yeah, that's the one thing I've read. But at the end of the day, you don't buy this phone for its camera.
No, and it's got a 4 mAh battery, 4 mega ohms, 4,000.
That's pretty impressive.
My Z5's got about 2.6, I think, 2.6 or 2,600, something like that, and this has got 4. So it's quite a lot.
Nice looking phone. It's a nice looking.
It does look. Yeah, if you look it up,
it's not loud. Is it?
No, I like it because it's not. Like I mentioned before, I brought up the Google Pixel 2 phone before, but I didn't like the colour scheme because it was too fucking leery. Two-tone fucking... I don't like that. I like it plain, and my Z5 is a plain black phone because I quite like that. I like it to look understated because from a distance it just looks like a shit phone. You know? If someone's looking at it going, do I want to nick that? Then it just looks like a black shit phone. So it's not though.
It's understated, but you can look at it like it does look well manufactured. It does. It looks pretty.
Internal storage is 64 gigabytes, but
it's not bad.
But you do have an expansion. You have a micro SD which can extend with a class 10 SD card up to 2 terabytes. So you can keep
on a
this for a
phone.
while.
That's pretty impressive. Is it locked
to
your network? I'm assuming.
Well, it's exclusive to 3 for the first 6 months. 3 mobile for the first 6 months. However, after that, I would imagine other people would be getting in on the act and stuff. But seriously, I'm not bothered if it is. So I'd have it for 2 years, and then the only thing I have a qualm with, which makes me a touch a hypocrite, because I did nag on the iPhone for having it. It doesn't have a 3.5mm jack.
Really?
Yeah.
It doesn't. No, it's got. It has the USB No, USB-C port,
Yeah.
which is happening on the same on the Samsung ones, and it's got a little jack that comes with it.
So it comes with an adapter.
So you plug it in like you would your 3.5mm, and luckily it's not one that's rigid. If you know what I mean, it's not a little block that you stick in, which then allows it's a corded one, so
the
it
iPhone
flex.
one's like that. But
So
your one looks
I was
longer.
worried. Yeah, I was worried that it would be like a little block that you put in that sticks out a certain amount of distance, like a half-inch distance or whatever, so you can plug in the thing, and then it becomes a bit too rigid and easy to snap off and stuff. But it's not. It's a little thing that plugs in like you would your 3.5mm. So yeah, I'm not too bothered by it, but it doesn't come with any headphones. I've got headphones lying about, which I can use with the jack.
Know why, to be honest, why would you want to? Most people these days buy headphones. Okay, they don't buy the same level of headphones I do before you even say anything, Mr. Perry. But
£260 on headphones.
But people buy their own headphones, so it doesn't bother me when a phone doesn't come with them. I can understand why people are pissed at the lack of a headphone jack. I get it. Although I think more and more phones are going to be doing this, but they supply an adapter, and the adapter's a cable. It's just boom, away you go.
Yeah, I thought it would knock me more than it did, but I thought, you know what, it's not bad. And there is a bit of software that's going to be included, which I can't fucking find at the moment. There's going to be a little bit of software that's included on the Razer phone. It's a Razer's bit of software, and it's going to give you a little bit of a game booster and stuff like that, and it will maximize whatever program you're using. Also, when it comes to using Twitter or Facebook, they say that because the refresh rate is 120, you don't get any slow up, no lag, no anything on that when you're scrolling through your stuff, which is good. And they're also teaming up with a few developers to make Razer specific games, which I'm not sure if you get for free yet or if you have to buy them as an extra, but it's going to be, I think, delivered through that bit of software. I'm trying to find the details on that if I can. Then...
Interestingly, though, it doesn't have an OLED screen, and that I'm not convinced is good, because you've heard all those rumours about or the things this week about people bitching and moaning about getting screen burn already on the iPhone 10.
Really?
Yeah, but Samsung, the Samsungs apparently suffer from it as well.
Was that with OLED?
Yeah, they get screen burn.
Oh, is that where something gets sort of like, if you're watching something for a bit, it will stay on the screen for long?
So I haven't got anything to compare it with, but the iPhone 8s have been released here, and I think the screen on the iPhone 8 is pretty nice. It's nice. You can see the difference between the 8 and the 7, because I run them side by side and went, yeah, you can see the clear difference. And there's True Tone stuff, and I saw an iPad Pro. They've released the iPad Pros here as well the other day. The screen on that's pretty nice. I haven't seen an iPhone 10 in the wild yet, so I can't comment, but apparently it's the most breakable phone out there. Insurance company, one of the insurance companies has said it is the most breakable of all the iPhones. So this decision that I made way back that I'm not getting an iPhone 10. I'm just sitting here smiling at the moment about it. But this phone of yours looks really nice. I like its understatedness, should I say? That's probably not a word, but I like the fact that it's not bling bling. And it looks nice. It looks nice. It looks neat. And is that like an LED on the back? Does it light up green when the phone is on? Oh,
I'm not sure. Which bit?
It doesn't count if it's green, Keith, and it counts if it's blue.
No, it can be green. It can be green, especially when it's nicked the Manx.
Now,
Razer nicked the logo from the Isle of Man.
So Razer is.
I thought they were based in the Isle of Man for tax reason.
Probably.
I've got a Razer mouse. If you can see it, I've got it set to blue.
Yeah, I wonder if you can do that on the phone, because most Razer gear have like an LED thing. If you look at their laptops are not like Alienware where they're all shouty, but they do have like the logo, which is LED, and you can change it because that's kind of like a gamer thing, isn't it? I wonder if you can do that on this phone because that would be pretty neat. And then make it blue, do it nice, do it.
Yes, I'm not sure if you can. I think you've got the Razer logo. I think it's just a logo. It's not lit up.
There's a picture on their website where it shows it not green and then green.
Yes,
so I'm wondering if
two
you
versions.
can light it up. Ah, okay.
There's only 1,337, which, if you turn the calculator upside down, spells leet, versions of the green back.
Okay.
Yeah, so
right.
it's a special version. So I'm just trying to find that on here. They are providing a. This is what it's called. It's called Nova Prime. Nova Prime. It is a pay-for version. However, as a Razer owner, you get it for free, which you also get freebies, Tekken, Dying Light, Titan Assault, and stuff like that. And then you've got a game booster, so it'll look at the game and it'll boost it accordingly and stuff like that, whatever you're playing. So you do get quite a bit of kit, I think, spec-wise.
It's a nice phone, though.
So
it's a nice phone.
once
Anyway,
I get it, it's
yes.
released on the 16th or 17th of November.
So you should have it. You should have it by the time we do the next podcast, even though you'd been using it like a day and a bit by the time you get to it.
Hopefully so. Yeah.
He's going to be
Hopefully so. And
it's going to be sitting there on Friday going, come on. Where the fuck is it?
mate,
Yeah.
I already know I'm up in London. I'm on site surveys all day, so I've got no. Hey, mate, I've had this shit phone for 2 years. I can wait.
I can wait another day. It'll be all cool, right? And until the Friday's going, come on, just before I go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Acting all cool now.
So
Go
there
on,
you go.
Gareth.
It's an alternative to the norm.
Gareth wants
Right,
to have
so-
a moan. Look, he's
I don't
biting
want to
the
moan
bullet.
yet. No, not have the moan yet. I just want to talk about the rumours of Marvel's, not Marvel, of Disney buying Fox's movie division from them. Because I know that Marvel are desperate to get back all the big characters in their catalogue, and this may be one way of doing it, and also a way of eliminating part of the competition.
I don't know if it'll go through.
You don't know if it'll go through. I think it'll
No.
go through.
Because
Who are they buying?
Disney are
Fox.
already too big. Disney are already too big. Because
Fox.
people have been moaning about how big they are. Although, it would, in some respects, make sense as to why they seem to think they can launch a paid for service, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But that would make them huge. Because Disney already own Marvel, Lucasfilm, and Disney, which owns various subscriptions, And then you've got Sony, and then you've got 20th Century Fox. Those are the three big players, right? Disney
What about
buying
Universal?
Fox is basically, it's monopoly. Now, under a Trump administration, they might get away with it, but I don't know. I don't know.
But they're set to buy the downside to this is they're also set to set up their own streaming service. And that means that Netflix is contract with them for their streaming services like Punisher, Daredevil, and stuff like that might end. So at the moment, we know for a fact, I'd say we know for a fact, the rumour mill saying that Netflix are no longer allowed to use any new Marvel characters. Yeah? So they're not allowed to set up a Blade series. So, yeah? They can have people and bits in the show, but I don't think they can put any new series like, they couldn't have like a what do you call it, a Taskmaster series or something like that. So there's that, and then there's rumours are that after a certain period of time they're not going to renew these things, and then they'll be moved on to Disney streaming service, which means that Disney may be the only competition any real competition that Netflix has.
I don't know how they're going to do that, though. That's the thing, because Netflix put a lot of their own creativity in this. It's not Marvel Marvel make it in
No,
conjunction
it's
with
ABC
Netflix
Studios that do it. ABC
Sorry?
Studios that do it, and Netflix do the distribution on it. This is different.
ABC Studios make the Daredevil.
Watch it. Yep. Watch it at the beginning. It says ABC Studios.
I did not.
Disney own ABC. However, this acquisition won't be for the broadcast arm because you're not allowed to own two broadcast networks.
But the Fox broadcast arm isn't part of 20th Century.
Yeah, no, they're interested in the film.
They're only
department.
it's 21st Century Fox's film side, not the
that's
broadcasting
weird.
side.
One, it's weird that the corporation's belongs to 21st Century Fox. The other part I find weird is the fact that if that happens, that Disney will own the rights to Aliens and Predator. Could you imagine watching a fucking parade with them coming, like Mickey Mouse and the fucking Xenomorph walking down bloody the street? Like, hello, everybody.
You see, I mean, a few months ago when news broke that Disney were going to start up their own streaming service, I was a bit skeptical about this because I thought they were a bit late to the party. But CBS All Access is doing quite well. And that is mainly, as much as I hate to say this, to do with Star Trek Discovery. That and the Good Wife spin-off, The Good Fight.
Okay. I don't know why, because Star Trek Discovery's fucking boring now. It really is boring.
It's, yeah.
Orville.
It's
I watched the last couple of Orville and they've been absolutely fantastic.
The last episode of The Orville was really good.
Which one was that one? What Rob Lowe in?
Yeah, I quite liked that.
Yeah,
with the blue fella.
That was. There's a couple of odd bits in there that made me go. Ah!
Well, yeah, there was a very
There were two. How can I put it? Two dodgy sex scenes in there.
yes.
One with the blue fellow and the captain, and the other one with Blob Person and the thingy. It made me go.
Yeah,
I always thought they would have just implied what they were saying.
No,
Yeah.
it was having a go.
Yeah, having a
That
go.
was
What?
funny.
Sorry.
Having a go. What?
I think it was an indirect go at Trump, wasn't it? Again, I think.
How?
Well, isn't he trying to ban homosexual marriage? Because that was what it was all about. The Orville was
he?
basically preaching.
I don't think he.
I don't know if it was a go at Trump. I thought it was a go at Trump, but I know that he's made anti-gay comments and things like that.
No, he hasn't made very many anti-gay comments. The closest you've got is the anti-transsexual thing in the military because he believes that that someone who's on constant medication can't really fight in the same way a diabetic can't become a fucking Navy SEAL.
Hollywood.
Could you imagine that?
Ethics.
Diabetic in the middle of a gunfight. Quick! I got to top my insulin up. Yeah, not my pump off. Ah, shit.
But
It's in the
Hollywood,
same
it
way,
was
Sam.
that episode was preaching, acceptance no matter what. That's what that whole episode was.
Really, I thought it was.
Well,
Just
the fact
Be
that
careful to be careful not to what do you call it? Let your base impulses override your kind of things. Otherwise, you cause a war. That's what I saw from that.
Yeah.
Don't let you run away with your base impulses. You might cause a war inadvertently.
well, that is a go at Trump thing.
I don't think that is because I don't think Seth MacFarlane. I think Seth MacFarlane's got more gripes with Hollywood than he has with Trump.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Given the Stewie and the fucking Kevin Spacey thing, now I've got to go back and watch all the fucking Family Guys to see what other comments he made about celebrities to see if they're true too.
Huh.
I've just escaped from Kevin Spacey's basement, and it's like, oh, that's I'll make a note of that. It's like The Simpsons. They turn around when Trump will become president, and it's like, yeah, should have made a fucking note of that one.
Yeah.
Could have made a fortune.
Should have put a bet down.
The moment he ran, if I'd have put a bet down, I'd have made an absolute fucking fortune.
I forgot about that
Yeah.
Stewie comment.
Did you?
I'd forgotten that, and now I remember it. I remember at the time thinking that was a bit odd.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, they've got that. So it's a bit for me. It's a little bit worrying that we might be losing the Marvel series from Netflix. We won't be losing them, but they're going to Disney's one. So until we hear Disney release their streaming service, worldwide, that is, I think it's looking a little on the safe side.
Can I be?
Give it 3 years.
Can I be honest here? The only one that I'm really overly fussed about losing is Daredevil. I thought Luke Cage was okay. I liked it more than you did. Never really liked Jessica Jones, and I really didn't like Iron Fist. The Defenders is good, but it took a while to get used to, and Iron Fist in that is really annoying. To me, they very much tarnished themselves with Iron Fist, and I think it was very badly cast, male-wise. I think the lady that plays Colleen is quite good, but and not because she's Asian, I fancy it.
Keith. The long and the short of it is, it was rushed.
Yeah,
that's the problem with it. It was rushed.
But
because it was rushed, it wasn't put together well. And plus,
on a strange note, that's the only Marvel program series that my wife and I have actually sat down and watched through because she hasn't got bored.
I'm interested by The Punisher.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes, The Punisher will be interesting.
Season 2 of the Daredevil was a hell of a lot more action-packed, and it kept it going all the way through.
Was it?
Yes.
I haven't started that.
Season 2 of Daredevil was great, especially the supernatural scene in the hospital.
A lot of people criticise the like 15-minute or 20-minute conversation he has with the Punisher in like episode 3 in the graveyard. But that's really good. If you watch that,
you're not talking about the one on the rooftop, because that was longer than on the rooftop.
No. People criticised the one, or people were openly critical when it came out of the graveyard one. But I think the graveyard chat's really, really good. It's if you watch that again, it's quite intense. I thought Daredevil season 2 was brilliant, and I am looking forward to the Punisher. So I might be bothered by them losing that, because that does, I agree with your brother here, look fucking awesome. But I've not been a huge fan of the other three. I mean, I thought Tennant's Kilgrave was really interesting, but Jessica Jones just irritates me. I liked Luke Cage more than everybody else did, but because of its... because I didn't mind it. It references Marvel. It references the wider Marvel universe more than any of the others.
My problem with Luke Cage was that you couldn't really have any good fight sequences with him in.
No, I get that.
Because if you look at the last thing, it looked like two people having a pub fight.
I get why. I understand why you don't like it. I didn't mind it, but then I have different reasons for not minding it. But you're right. You are 100% right on it. Daredevil is still the best one they've done.
The second series, Daredevil.
Yeah, Daredevil as an entity is the best one out of all of them.
But I am worried about that. Anyway, it's time for a rant. I'm gonna have a fucking moan at something. Yeah. Yesterday I was hanging around with a load of Royal Marines for the 11th hour of the of the 11th month, and there was an article that popped up in my newsfeed about poppies and how you shouldn't wear poppies if you voted for Brexit.
What?
Yep, it was in the Independent, and it genuinely grated on me. I've rarely have anything that grates on me in such a fashion, yeah, but this one grated on me because it was like kind of how the Remain it was like a thing about how the Remain campaign got on the whole Leave train, saying that we're for the country and we're nationalists and all these things, yeah. And then how the European Union was an institution to stop wars. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, yeah, Europe loves good war. I mean, really fucking loves good war. For fuck's sake, I'm British, and we're one of the countries that's probably been at war with all but 11 nations on the entire planet. If we could start a Barney with them, we've started a Barney with them, and a majority of the time we've won.
For our American listeners, that he doesn't hurl a purple dinosaur at them. He start a fight.
Yeah, a Barney. Yes, Barney Rubble Trouble. So yeah, we did that.
Barney the dinosaur.
Anyway, this guy was hyping on about how you shouldn't wear a poppy because if you vote for Leave because you don't believe in trying to keep the peace, etc., etc. Alongside this, there was also a white poppy campaign. Now, if you know anything about poppies in the UK, you buy poppies because poppies go to the British Legion, and the British Legion then pay for veterans and their families for stuff. Yeah, yes. So they raise £100 million, and then that money goes to that.
There is something here. It is not just a charity symbol, right? And I get pissed off every year because there's that stupid fucking bitch, and I will use this language on ITN, who refuses to wear one because she says it's a symbol of a charity. It is not just a symbol of a charity. It is a symbol of remembrance and gratefulness that we are still able to call ourselves English. That's why you wear a poppy. Yes, the money that goes from it goes to the British Legion, but it is not a symbol of a charity.
Yeah,
Sorry, it really grates me, this.
See, I always saw
Also,
it as
there's a
symbol
misconception.
Yeah,
Once
sorry.
you on the same sort of point, UEFA this time last year, UEFA is the governing football body for Europe. They said to England and Scotland, who were playing a friendly, that if you wear poppies on your shirts or do anything in the ground, we will fine you. It is a political statement, they said. And they went, no, it's not. You're allowed to do charitable things, and this is a charitable thing. It is not a political statement in the slightest.
No, it's not.
However, despite overwhelming evidence, UEFA still fined England and Scotland and Wales, who wore poppies, and Northern Ireland. Fined them all. To my knowledge, England never paid it. Went, fuck you.
Mhm.
You know. This year, they went, yeah, no, it's all right. You know, every year up until last year, it was completely fine to do so. But last year, they went, no, it's a political. It's not a political statement. And I'm sure you.
Go on. No, it's not a
Yeah,
political
I'm sure Gav's
statement.
going to lead on to that.
It's not. It's not a charity. It's not a charity symbol per se. Yes, it is. They are produced by a charity and sold, and the money goes. But it is not a symbol of a charity. It is so much more.
It's a symbol of remembrance.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's supposed to be a symbol of remembrance for everyone who has fought for our side during a war, who has died or been injured. Yeah, that's what it is. And then you've got these freaks wearing the white poppies.
What is this? Can you tell me about this? Because
Gav can tell you.
This is the thing that gets me. Yeah, first things first is the white poppies. No one knows where the money goes. Okay, so the white poppies
go to charities.
Yeah.
It doesn't go to where you think it does.
It's lining some bastard's pocket. We know this, all right? It's bad.
It is lining some. Somebody started that, didn't they? Somebody must have gone. We've got a bit of a thing here. What happens every year? How many people buy a poppy? Let's make it white. We'll say it's the better version or whatever.
Well, to be honest with you, the first thing is the red poppy thing came from it came from the States, and so did, I think the white poppy thing also came from the States. It's supposed to celebrate a peace, and it's supposed to, commemorate all those who've died in war. And apparently, when they were interviewing the guys in charge of the white poppy thing on UK TV, they said to him, does it celebrate everyone who's died in war? And he went, yes. So, where people from ISIS have died in wars, you're remembering those people. And he went, no. And the Nazis, and he went, no. But apparently in another interview, turned around and went, yes, we are. And it's like, okay. So we've got this, and it's like, this is the other thing too. If I remember, I think there's a World Peace Day. Yeah? It's a World Peace Day. I never pay attention to it because so much.
Oh, tell me this isn't some kind of amnesty. This isn't some kind of.
Oh, no. No, but there's a World Peace Day. Right? And it should really be worn on then. And all they're doing at the moment is they're just trying to trick millennials and the weak of mind into World Peace Day. Peace one day, come on. I'm just trying to bring up the information. 21st of September, World Peace Day. Alright, so they should be selling the white poppies on the 21st of September, not the 11th of November. So, yeah, because that's their day.
Hang on, they're wearing white poppies. Is this some kind of protest?
Yeah, it is some protest from people who don't understand these things.
So they've politicised a remembrance.
Yeah, and it's like kind of, well, what about all the other people who've died in wars? It's like kind of, yes, we have other days for them, but this is for them. And it's always the whatever aboutery, which always kind of fucks me off. Anyway, going back to the Independent article, the thing that fucked me off was the fact that they were tying that in with Brexit. Yeah, and they wanted to make it a whole thing about Brexit. Even though, this is the thing that gets me, yeah? Even though, if you turn around and said that the European Union is responsible for not, for stopping wars in Europe, he has failed fucking dramatically. Yeah, just look at places like Kosovo, the Turkish invasion of Cyprus, and places like that. Yeah, European Union was about them, didn't do anything. Yeah,
genocide in Yugoslavia.
Yeah, genocide in Yugoslavia. So if you want to sit there and say the European Union is responsible for peace and stopping war on the continent of Europe, talking absolute bollocks. NATO and nuclear weapons have done more. Yeah, because the long and short of it is Russia won't fuck with Europe because we have nuclear weapons in the form of us and France. Yeah, and NATO will stop the Russians from invading again, and then NATO will also intervene in places like Kosovo and stuff where the European Union didn't do jack shit. Jumping on this really just grated on me something.
Yeah, and I completely understand why it does, and I completely agree with you. It's not a fucking argument for Brexit. It is not a political thing. Everybody should wear a poppy or donate to the poppy thing if you want. That's a moral thing if you want to donate. But, on the 11th of November or on the Sunday, you should take 30 seconds just to remember the people that have fallen for your freedom.
Well, you should take 2 minutes of silence, as I did with the Royal Marines on Sunday.
You should do, but even if, sometimes it's not practical, but you should just take a moment to remember. And I do not like people that refuse to wear poppies on television saying it's a charity symbol. If you're on television, wear a goddamn poppy. Now, look, I'm the first one to say that,
I'll be honest
left,
with you.
This is one thing that we shouldn't fuck with.
I was going to say, I'm not bothered by you not wearing a poppy. It's donating money to the charity to help other people.
It bothers me.
I didn't wear a poppy this year, but money went into the box.
You're not on TV. It's people that make some kind of statement out of it. If you're on TV and you're reading the news, wear a fucking poppy.
Okay.
And turning around and saying you don't because it's a charity symbol is bollocks.
Okay. Now I pissed everyone off. I want to try and move us into somewhere a bit more fun so we can poke fingers at the elite in Hollywood. I really want
This isn't really fun. This isn't really fun anymore, is it?
It is funny when you hear some of these fucking stories, all right? I would like... Could you just find, Keith, could you just find some crap jingle and put it in here?
Right.
I'm going to say thank you. It can be shit. It needs to be a shit jingle, by the way, all right? So, who's been putting their winky where? That's what I'm going to call this section. Okay, alright. So, this is another one. I've got this lovely newsfeed thing on my phone, and it came up with Andrew Kreisberg, who helped create the Flash and the Arrow. Apparently, he's been putting his winky where he shouldn't be. Apparently, he harassed a female writer on the Flash and the Arrow. Which isn't good because the girl was working. Pardon? I think it was a Flash. Did it on.
Has there been one reported
It was just one person who accused him of this, and I believe it sounds like it was. From given the story, I think it probably was one person, but I think they may have overblown this a little. Yeah, because it sounds like he was interested in someone.
Yeah, this is what we've got to be careful with. That's what
it sounds more like unwanted sexual advances more than things. So it's like kind of, oh, come out with me. I really love you. Go on, give us a hug. That kind of thing, rather than anything kind of like what Louis C.K. did. Right. Okay, so we've got Andrew Kreisberg. Then we've got Louis C.K. He's a comedian here who I think is crap. Yeah, he's never made me laugh. I've watched loads of these things because everyone's told me he's really funny. I've watched them and I've not laughed at all, ever once. It doesn't mean you don't find him funny. Don't take that as that. But I've not found him funny.
Until now.
Until now. But it's not him who's made me funny. I'm not laughing with him. I'm laughing directly at him. Because apparently, I don't know if this is true or this is a sketch from a show that has been misinterpreted. He invited two girls back to his hotel room where he popped out his knob and knocked one out.
No, and he's admitted to all of this. And when he was speaking to somebody on the phone, and he was wanking while talking to somebody on the phone. Yep. There's 6 or 7 people that have come forward about this. Yeah. So there's the big director as well, though, this week as well.
Oh, I can't remember. I don't know. Is this, he's a shit one. Brett Ratner.
Yeah.
Is it Brett Ratner? Ratner. It's like kind of, you've got Gal Gadot saying, I won't work with Brett Ratner if he's supposed to direct the next Wonder Woman film, yeah? I'll be honest with you, despite the sexual harassment claims, I wouldn't work with him. Full stop. We've all watched X-Men 3, and we all thought it was shit. Yeah. Thank you, Brett Ratner.
Is that the one where they, at the end, I've forgotten her name. Not Storm, the other one.
Jean Grey.
Jane Grey.
Is that
Jean
her name?
Grey,
Yeah, she's
sorry.
sort of like...
Jean Grey.
She
The
turns out to be the most
Phoenix,
powerful
yeah.
mutant or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she dismantles a bridge. They're on a bridge, aren't they?
Yeah,
That's Magneto. Picked
It's
up
the
bridge and
shit
moved it
one.
across,
I mean, it's like
Yeah.
the really shit one. I mean, there's been quite a few shit X-Men films, but this is really shit. This is like a different level of shit. This is
Yeah,
Spider-Man
killed
3
off-
territory of shit.
No, God, he killed off Xavier, and he killed off of.
No, he didn't kill off Xavier.
Yes, he
not.
did.
Nope.
He
He
did
does
kill off
not,
Xavier.
because there is a Marvel end credit scene
No,
at the
hang on,
end
it doesn't matter. Hang on a second.
where
It
you
doesn't
hear
matter
his
about that.
voice.
No, it doesn't matter about that, because what happened is the proper Xavier, Prime Xavier, was destroyed by the Phoenix, which should have never have happened.
But Xavier's still alive at the end of it. What do you mean the Prime Xavier? There is at
The
the end
original
of
one.
X-Men Last Stand or whatever it is, there is a Marvel stinger. It's one of the first times they ever did it in a film. It's right at the end of the credits.
Okay, it doesn't matter. It was shit. Don't defend the
It
shit.
was
film.
shit, but they didn't kill off Xavier.
Yeah.
Geek cred. I'm the only one that's ever seen this fucking scene. But it starts with the guy bandaged and lying in the
Don't
bed,
give-
and then you hear
don't give
Xavier's
Geek cred
voice,
for
and she
that.
goes, "Professor."
Anyway, so you've got Kreisberg making unwarranted sexual advances. We've got Louis C.K. popping his willy out, yeah, where it's not wanted. Then you've got Brett Ratner. Then you've got George Takei, who's also been accused of sexual
Oh,
improprieties in the 80s. And I'll be honest with you, given the fact that George is a big fucking moralizer, yes, because whenever you hear about these people who tend to be moralizers, yeah, they tend to be the ones that are doing these dodgy things. A best example is in the 80s, you had all these like televangelists, and they preach about the evils of being gay, and they turn around and they turn out to be fucking gay. So it fits. So anyone who's fucking sitting there moralizing at you, odds on, has probably done something fucking wrong. So George Takei, and I think George Takei's crimes will probably just be groping small boys' asses. Well, that'll be the height of it. It will be literally, it would have been like there'd be like 6 boys that said, George Takei grabbed my ass. And there's a good chance that he grabbed my ass during an A2B concert in Winchester. So, someone did, and I didn't know who it was. Could have been George Takei. Who knows?
That's the story, and I'm going with it.
That's the story. George Takei groped my ass in 1998.
It just keeps on going.
It was
I mean,
1981.
81.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
There's been more. You see, the thing is, the more of these stories come out, and the more Kevin Spacey stories come out, and now that you make that point about Stewie, the Stewie character, they've known about this for years. The studios knew about this and continued to make films with them. Netflix knew about this and continued until it all became public. And then it was like, oh, we're not touching them. Oh, that's so wrong. You fucking knew about it. Why didn't you sack him? You were quite happy to make money until the public found out. You know, the media is just saying, Kevin Spacey's bad. Yeah, he is bad. But so are the people that enabled him.
Yep.
So are the people that enabled all of these stars, enabled Harvey Weinstein, enabled all of these people, because you fucking knew about it. And you've made money off it for years, and it pisses me off. Like, Netflix are going, we're not going to make... Why? Why have you stopped making House of Cards? What, because everybody knows about it now?
Didn't stop you beforehand when you knew about it.
Yeah. Have you removed all of the previous 5 seasons off your streaming service? No, you haven't. Still there.
Yeah. What is it? The one that gets me is the Corey Feldman one, but he turned around and said that they've got lots of paedophiles and stuff in Hollywood. And he said he wanted so much money to cover his legal costs. But with all these people coming out now, the fear of him getting prosecuted has dropped. So he's released 2 names, one of which was an unknown actor called John Grissom, who was late 80s, early 90s. He was kind of big in, and apparently he was arrested on charges like that. But there's others, and he'll come out because we know that there are paedophiles out and amongst, these Hollywood people, and they're going to get caught. Even Milo Yiannopoulos said things about Hollywood parties on boats and dodgy things going on. So there are dodgy things going on, and we're going to wait for those ones to be uncovered. Until those ones are uncovered, as far as I'm concerned, this is not ended. This is going to keep going.
It's the tip of the iceberg. We said this when you and me had our first conversation about Harvey Weinstein. We both said tip of an iceberg, and it's just going to keep on going. But I don't know, slightly changing the subject slightly, but this is absolutely true. The Conservative Party, because obviously it's hitting politics here as well. Have you heard about this Conservative
hang on,
Party?
Keith. No, stop. No, hang on. When it comes to politics in the UK, politics in the UK is synonymous with sex to the point that it's a lyric in a song.
But this is amazing, right? They have got a dossier, right, of intelligence gathered on certain MPs, right? What they seem to think is going to cause them problem. And on this list, you've got people that have been accused of proper sexual harassment, and it's not great. To an MP that likes to be pissed upon. Yeah, that's in the same kind of badness as this sexual harassment. Look,
but
I don't care what you do in your own home.
Keith, hang on, Keith. That shit has existed for years, yeah?
Yes, but
hang on. Norman Major was banging Edwina Curry, yeah? Have you seen what Edwina Curry looks like?
John Major, not Norman. I know he was a bit of a Norman, but his name was John Major.
Yeah. And then there's the guy who was found asphyxiated with an orange in his mouth wearing ladies' stockings.
But
this is normal for UK politicians.
John Major having an affair with Edwina Curry, right, isn't something that we should get, have the same kind of level of disdain for that we do for the Harvey Weinsteins. And what this Conservative dossier is mixing in, Harvey Weinsteins with people that like to be pissed upon. It's just not the same fucking thing.
I would say it's the same thing.
No. You might find it disgusting. I find it disgusting. But what you do in the privacy of your home, it's not. If you've got two consenting people, it's up to you.
Yeah, that is one thing I say. This is my kind of core belief. Whatever you get up to in the privacy of your own bedroom with another consulting adult or two, it's your fucking business as far as I'm concerned. As long as it's consenting and you're not breaking any rules of any sorts, and again, nobody's getting hurt.
To the people that listen, and I've been saying this all along, remember innocent till proven guilty, to an extent, and remember that the left at the moment are winning, and the left
are winning. What are they winning?
Well, the more and more. Everything seems the world's becoming more and more PC, which is a very leftist thing. And I'll tell you what, right? I'm going to say I defend the BBC a lot. I do, right? Until this week, and this week I could not defend this, right?
Okay, what couldn't you defend?
Basically, these Paradise Papers that have come out, where how the rich people avoid paying tax, right? I'd just like to say, before anybody takes the moral fucking high ground on this, everybody will always find a way to pay less tax if they can. They're not going. If they are told, "Oh, you can get away with only paying £500 tax this week," no, I'm going to take the moral high ground and pay the £1,000. You're not going to do it. The BBC put a fucking button. You know how they do their news thing where they've got home, world, everything thing. They had a physical button to the Paradise Papers, right? A physical button on their website. And then there were all these stories of going, oh, the Queen does this. Oh, Lewis Hamilton does this. Big whap. He's not doing anything illegal. Can I point out that these Paradise Papers that have been released, nobody is doing anything illegal.
Keith, it's not illegal. It is immoral.
But you would do it. Everybody would do it. It's one of those morals that the left love to hate. But it shows how left the BBC is to put this.
Yeah, but
it's not a news story.
You got people. You got Jimmy Carr. Yeah, and do you know what they say when actors go to see their accountants? Are you doing a Jimmy Carr?
Yeah.
They genuinely ask that question. Even Jimmy Carr now makes a joke about that. He goes, "I'm like kind of Jimmy Carr." It's like, that's the term they use.
But the thing is, right, all of this stuff is actually just a distraction from the government that lets you do this. And the Conservative government are going to carry on letting you do it because they're all a bunch of rich bastards, and that's how they become rich. And it's just like, look, at the end of the day, we're all going to do it. If we have that kind of money and we have the ability not to pay as much tax, you're going to do it. Because that's how you have more money.
Anyway, on that
So
note,
I've had my rant now.
You've had your rant now. I think it's time we wrap this up, okay?
Okay.
So, Keith, is there anything you want to add? Or are you finished?
I know I'm
Good,
done.
you finished. Okay, nice. Do you want to add anything? Are you going to...
There might be one thing that we've forgotten to mention.
What's that?
The Xbox One X was released this week.
Yes, it was released this week.
And that's all we need to say about it.
£449 for a fucking console. Yep, they saw you coming.
Didn't see me coming. I'm not getting it.
And still doesn't have a rechargeable batteries.
Yeah. No, saying that, the new Xbox controllers, I think, do have rechargeable batteries.
No, not out the box. They don't. You have to buy the play and charge kit. I found this out the bad way when I bought my One S. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah.
And now they're charging you 449 quid, and you still have to buy 2 AA batteries to put the fucking controller, or a play and control charge kit, which will cost you another 25 quid. Yep.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Anyway, I thought I'd mention it, seeing as it happened this week.
Yeah, to be honest, we're waiting for more kind of news to come out about it, because I know that all the games with uncapped frame rates have been running at 60 frames a second on it, which is pretty fucking good.
I've
but
seen
there's
Tomb
ones
Raider
that
running
are
on it.
uncapped. Annoyingly, all the ones that have been capped 30 frames a second, where they could easily do 60 frames a second on the Xbox One X, have yet to be patched. There are games being patched left and right, but it's going to take another couple of weeks before those games can actually reach the kind of that point. But hey ho, it's
one thing. I was considering to get one, but not yet, because I want to wait until they actually bring back. I know at the moment they've got backwards compatibility to the Xbox 360, but they don't yet have Xbox original games backwards compatibility. And yeah, there's going to be select few games, but it's going to be more popular.
I know exactly what he's thinking here. I know exactly what he's thinking, because he's thinking exactly the same fucking thing as me. Because it's exactly the same thing I'm waiting for. Knights of the Old Republic. It's just going straight for, yep, thank you.
But to have that, yeah, they might allow you to, buy it. But what they might allow you to do is put the Old Republic disc in, and it goes, oh, you've got the disc. And then it will download the latest one, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I have bought a Xbox original for 20 quid. And I also bought Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 for me to play. I haven't played it too much because I'm sitting there waiting, going, when are you going to announce it? It's meant to be fucking November, or at least after they release the Xbox One X, which I'm hoping the new update will be soon to allow that.
I saw it.
And then I'll potentially get one, because I'd like to play the old games.
I've been debating. I saw Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 in our game shop, one of the local sort of game resellers here, because they don't really have dedicated computer game shops here. The weird thing is, Xbox One I haven't seen anywhere in Thailand. It's really weird. And I've been into quite a few game shops, but they're not here. I mean, okay, they're probably favouring the Asian market, but just 360's here, but not one. But I saw Knights of the Old Republic, and it's there, and it hasn't sold, and I think I'm just going to take the risk and buy it. I might not be able to play it. Oh, it's a couple of quid. I mean, they're not expensive. But it's just like, I can't
over
play
here
it.
it's a bit more, because it's a little bit more sought after, I would imagine.
Yeah.
okay. Right.
Anyway,
let's wrap this up, bastard up, and say hello next week. So, say goodbye, Nigel.
goodbye, Nigel.
Say goodbye, Keith.
Goodbye, Keith.
And I'll say goodbye. See you next time. Bye.
Thanks for downloading the Monkey Nut Punch podcast. You can follow us on Twitter @Monkey Nut Punch. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Monkey Nut Punch.